Today I want to share with you 5 things that you need to avoid doing with your new Subaru. These are things that could cause damage to your car and maybe even cause harm to yourself. But some of these things are not always obvious to everybody. These are things that I get asked about from my own customers and people who have good intentions. They're trying to take care of their car. Maybe they don't realize what they're inadvertently doing. So we're going to cover that in today's video. If you are new to my channel, my name is Alex. I like to share weekly videos all on Subarus, tips and tricks just like this. So if you think you might enjoy those kinds of videos, consider clicking that subscribe button down below. So the first one I want to show you guys has to do with your floor liners. So a lot of people get these carpet liners. Well, they come standard on the Subarus. So you have the carpet mat here, and when you lift up, there's just more carpet. Now, that helps with keeping things protected for the most part, but if you want to go that extra step, many people go with the all-weather floor liners. This is what the all-weather floor liner looks like. It has a little tray here, so it keeps things contained, that dirt, debris, and water. So whenever you have rain and snow getting kicked in the car, it keeps it protected. But what you don't want to do is what I'm doing here right now. You don't want to install the carpet mat or the all-weather mat over top of the carpet mat. And one of the reasons why you don't want to do this is because of the risk of this bulkiness. So that adds an extra layer there. You don't want to run the risk of this getting caught on the pedals. That could be incredibly dangerous. So if you are going to get the all-weather floor liners, which I have myself in my Outback and I highly recommend them, I actually don't even use my carpet mats. My carpet mats are still in the plastic packaging, like probably 90% of other people who get these. So you just want to install the all-weather liners separately, and they're very easy to do usually. I'm struggling to do this with one hand. There we go. Now I've got it in place. So that is what it looks like installed. And this is exactly how Subaru designed it. Now that comes with the front and the rear. So you can have the all-weather protection both in the front and rear for your passengers. You'd be surprised how many times I see people have both the carpet and the all-weather mat installed at the same time, but that is not the correct way. I understand those people have good intentions. They're just trying to keep their car extra clean, but that is not safe. So don't double up, do one or the other. I'm embarrassed to admit that as many years as I've worked for Subaru, I didn't know that this next one existed, and that is going to be with the gas cap holder. So whenever you take this off, typically we're inclined just to let it sit right there, and over time that could cause scratches. Maybe it gets gas or residue there on the side of the paint. You wouldn't want that. Instead, they have this little holder here that will hold the gas cap in place while you are filling up. Now, this isn't necessarily anything new. I've definitely had cars over the years that had that, but I just recently realized that my Subaru has it, and it's definitely more important to have on something like the Impreza that doesn't have the cladding over here. Whenever you look at one of our other new models like the Outback and you drop this down, it's sort of protected by the cladding here. And even more so on the newer generation, 2023 and newer, is going to have even more cladding, just like this one. So it does keep it protected, where having that little holder is not as necessary. But either way, it is still kind of cool to have this little hidden feature with your gas cap. Let me know down in the comment section below. Did you know that your Subaru had that? Remember your gas cap holder the next time you go to the gas station, and hopefully that will help keep your paint in good condition for many years to come. I haven't made this mistake on my new car, but I have certainly been guilty of this in the past on previous cars, and that is using a window cleaner on other materials outside of the windows. So just to give you an example, an area where you do not want to use window cleaner is going to be up on this touchscreen display. Now it's tempting because this does tend to collect a lot of dust, but there is an easy fix for that. Grab a microfiber cloth just like this. Make sure you're not using, this should go without saying, but make sure you're not using one that's all gunked up like this. You can use this to simply wipe the glass down. That keeps it from getting scratched and keeps that dust from collecting there. You can also use that on the shift knob here down below on these high gloss plastic materials. I do really wish that Subaru would make this like a matte black finish here down below, because this is a high traffic area where you may have keys or phones or whatever, and that gets scratched up very easily. But this is just something that you can use if you must. You can also use something like an all-purpose interior detailer spray. This is from Adams Polishes. I've personally used it on my interior of my car for my steering wheel, up here on the plastic material, and even on the touchscreen display. I did look this up online, and I even called them just to ask. They did say that this specific spray is good for all-purpose use on the interior of the car, and it will not damage your touchscreen display, because glass cleaners like Windex have chemicals in them like ammonia that can cause issues with your touchscreen display later on down the road. Plus, who wants their car smelling like glass cleaner when you can get something like this where you can get different scents? Along those same lines, another area that you should be aware of with keeping your paint in good condition is not touching the paint or rubbing your fingers across the paint whenever you have dirt or dust on it, because even that little bit of dust and dirt, whenever you run your fingers down it, it can actually cause scratches and leave that streak there, even whenever you try to clean it. And then it would require some paint correction or a professional detail shop to actually be able to get those scratches out of your paint. Fortunately, I have a white car, and this hides a lot of imperfections. My paint's in pretty good shape, but I have had a black or dark colored cars in the past. Those show everything, and while they do look really good, when they're clean, they collect dust and debris. So here's just an example. If you can see on my mirror cap, it is the high gloss black mirror, and if you were to do that, that can actually cause damage to the paint. So you want to make sure that you're not touching your paint whenever it is dirty like that. You can take a microfiber and some water to simply wipe that off, or you can even get some detail spray to spray on the rag and wipe that off without causing any damage to the paint. The last thing you should avoid doing that can cause some interference with your Subaru's safety technology is mounting things on the windshield. Now, most people are going to use their touchscreen display for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but there are some people who still like to use a phone mount, or they're putting transponders up on the windshield, and it can interfere with these cameras. So most Subarus have at least 2, some even have 3 cameras up here that detects objects out ahead for automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, and overall just helping you avoid a collision. Those cameras have a wide angle lens on them, and so they have a very wide field of view. And so things even down here on the center of your windshield or just in front of it, that can cause some obstruction and turn your eyesight system off. Now, if your eyesight system is being blocked, it will actually tell you up on the display here, in between your gauge cluster, and it does the exact same thing whenever you have a heavy rain downpour where those cameras simply can't see. But something better to use instead of having a mount up here to mount your phone is just to have your phone tucked away and using your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It works the exact same no matter which device you have. And whenever it is connected, you just tap on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and you can use things like your navigation. You can open up your phone, music, text message. All of those things can be accessible hands-free while you're driving. And if you do have a transponder, if you're crossing toll bridges or toll roads, it's best, I've found, to put it in either the top right or the top left. And if you do have a toll company that has the stickers instead of the big plastic box, that is also going to be a much lower profile and not be as likely to cause any issues with visibility. I hope this video has been informative for you and you've learned something new. If you did, please remember to click the like button down below. That would help me out a ton and I would really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave those down below. I hope you have a great day and I will see you in the next one.